Thank you. In custody is Nicholas Henderson, Maria Chavez, Juan Cuellar, Jeremiah Escato Martinez, Jeremiah Escato Martinez. Mr. Ortiz, that's your client.
I had Henderson, but if I had that one as well, I'll look into it.
All right, thank you. Satira Portillo. How do you pronounce your first name? Satari. All right, I'm going to remember that. All right, thank you. Titus Ramirez. Laura Ashby. In custody is Elysia Sierra. I know I added too many syllables to that first name. Ernest Lopez. Ernest Lopez. Thank you. In custody is Norma Elizondo, Rudo Pardo, Carlos Terrazas, Austin Anderson. Thank you. In custody, we have Darianne De La Rosa, Christopher Acosta. Thank you. In custody, we have Luis Ramirez Rodriguez, Jacob Escobedo. Thank you. Amanda Kristen. Amanda Kristen. Eduardo Ramon. Eduardo Ramon. Ruben Ariano. I'm mispronouncing that. How do you pronounce that?
Ariano.
Oh, I did well. Moses Ross. Moses Ross. Hong Nguyen.
11 a.m., Your Honor.
Oh, 11. All right. The compliance hearings are for 11 a.m., but if you're here, let me know. LaQuinn Hyson. Robert Halstead.
Your Honor, Mr. Halstead is in safety already.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Caroline, can I have the file on that one? Eugene Boyd. Okay. And we can bring him out whenever his attorney comes. Michael Derone. Thank you. All right. Is there anyone who came in late or your name was not called? Yes. What's your name? I'm sorry? Medellin. Do you know who your attorney is? All right. Just have a seat. We'll get with you. Anyone else on this side? All right. Over here. Yes. All right. And here? I'm sorry, who? Jose Gonzalez. All right. Anyone else? Oh, just one moment. All right. Thank you. Terrence what? And yes. Excuse me. T-shirt. What's your name? Did you stand?
Oh, no. He said Ernest Ramon.
Okay. All right. Thank you. For those of you who came in late or your name was not called, is there any of you other than the gentleman here who, one, doesn't have an attorney or no attorney has made contact with you? All right. So just sit tight. We're going to bring you up shortly. The coordinator will speak to each of you. These are the rules of the court. I'm giving them to you because I know we've been away for a little bit. So number one, if you have an inmate, yes, they need to be brought out. Even if you think you're getting a reset, they still need to be brought out. Once you request your inmate, please do not leave. The reason why is for security issues. The deputies can only bring so many inmates out. And if your inmate is in the box, you're taking up the room for some other attorney. So let's not be selfish today. The other thing, if your client speaks a different language and feels more comfortable speaking in a different language, even if you speak that language, we still need an interpreter here. If an interpreter is called, please do not leave because we have a limited number of interpreters and they will only be here for 5 minutes. And this court is first come, first served. The only exception is if you have an interpreter. So don't say you need an interpreter if you don't need one. And I keep looking at Sharon Thorne, but Sharon Thorne is not the attorney who has done this in the past. It's just you're in my line of vision. Yes. All right, please do not approach the court coordinator for resets or continuances. I'm the only person who can do that. Do not approach the court if you have not conferred with the state and conferred with your client. The files for criminal trial division are on this side, for family violence are on this side. If you have an inmate who's brought out and you're in the box with them and we are on the record, and we will be on the record when I call the style of the case, if you're on this end talking to your client, it makes it difficult for the court reporter to hear. So just move your client down to the other end. The deputies are okay with you doing that, but do not talk behind the court reporter. Does everyone understand? All right, so it is the day after 4th of July. Everybody made it with all their fingers and toes. So it's going to be a great day. Be patient and kind with each other. Please confer.
Oh, died?
Yes,
Was that over the weekend?
that was on Wednesday.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, they said he went in for some type of surgery. That's what I'm hearing. And
I knew he'd had a stroke, mini stroke or something, an episode about 2 months ago.
yes.
But yeah. Holy cow, that's terrible.
Oh, it is. And he's such a great guy, you know?
Yeah, I first met him at Moe Ranch, a Presbyterian men's retreat
Yeah.
15 years ago. He was with his father-in-law and I was in my day.
Mhm.
Eduardo Ramón.
Oh, I have it. Yes. Oh.
Ernest Ramón. Anybody that was speak here? First row. See?
Judge Babcock.
Yes. Did you ask the clerk to pull your file? All right, the party's on Rudolph Montoya. All right, you need to be on that side, your counsel.
On this side?
Mhm. All right, what's happening with this case? Have you conferred with the state?
No, not yet, Your Honor. It was this, I'm asking about, the correctional office has filed a mental health report saying that he's mentally ill. So I wanted to have him ordered to submit to a test for whether he's competent to stand trial.
All right, have you spoken to him?
Yes, he's right here, and I told him.
Well, I mean, in speaking with him, do you think he's competent or no?
I'm sorry, Nixon.
And speaking to him, do you think he's competent or not? Many people have mental health issues, but it doesn't mean that they are incompetent.
Well, I really can't tell. I can't say that noticed anything.
Well, have you talked to him about his case to see if he understands? Does he have a rational and factual understanding of the charges against him? Have you told him what he's charged with and the consequences of those charges? Does he understand?
Well, I don't know how much I've done on that.
All right, so if you'll speak with him and then you can approach after you talk to him.
Okay. That's good.
Oh, who's the intern?
Ethan.
Ethan? Oh, Ethan, come forward. Hello. Hi, how are you doing? Oh, yeah, just come on around. So
They'll send you a.
what's happening today is docket. So if you want to have a seat here, you can have a seat here.
Coordinator will send you something.
Yes, and you can see everything that happens today. We're not going to have a jury trial this week, but we'll have one next week. So today what's happening is the attorneys come in and they're able to confer with the state about their cases and look over their cases, and the inmates are in the box. Those are people who have a bond set potentially, but have not made bond. Okay. All right. If you have any questions, just ask. Sure. Okay.
Mr. Bowie?
Okay. No, that's okay. So I need, okay, so you'll need to sign that, but all right, this is for you to sign here, but it's in front of the internship coordinator.
I have a certain, I just have.
Okay.
He already have a page for, he wasn't gonna be in office Friday, say after the case.
Was he appointed to you? Or was he-
No.
You hired him? And then you with him on Friday? Okay. Okay, go ahead and, make sure you. Check in with your bonds and let him know that you were changing. We, this. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead and just, let him know that you. Make sure you give your.
Excuse me, everyone, if I could have your attention. So this is Ethan Briggs. He's an intern. He's trying to make a decision on whether or not he wants to be an attorney. So because we cannot practice for 100 years, we will need attorneys. So let's make sure he enjoys the profession. So he's going to walk around, and if you all could speak to him, let him know what you're doing so that he can have an idea whether he wants to do this crazy thing called criminal law. So Ethan, just step down and meet everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, not the inmates. Not the inmates. Hey. No, it's okay. Leo, you're going to help out too.
Maybe I speak.
Three grizzlies,
Mhm.
5 black bear, a cub bear, a moose in her calf. That was it about the wildlife.
Ah,
Just,
but you didn't walk up to them and touch them.
I did that in Glacier. There was one over a fence. And it was old and I could almost pet it. But no.
Yeah, no, I see people doing that. And it's insane for people to do that.
Glaciers, just glaciers coming right up to the road.
Oh, wow.
I saw light posts, and the light posts are 2/3 covered with stones. What the hell is that about? That's because they have so many avalanches,
Oh,
and
my
they would
God.
have knocked over the pole. So they're keeping that.
Mhm.
I said, why do we get electricity in this remote little town?
Mhm.
Because it's all hydraulic water power.
Mhm.
I said, collecting the river, because there's so many rivers.
Oh, wow.
River after river after, river. I mean, these are several football field size
Mhm.
wide, and it's just roaring white water coming down. But no, there's dams built up in the mountains,
Mhm.
and that's where we get the electrical. That was
Oh,
interesting.
wow. So did you ride back or no?
On the way there, I talked to the secretary. I said, man, I'm not sure I can make it. My back is killing me
Mhm.
between the shoulder blades. And I was asking people at the hotel, somebody please rub this lotion on me. They thought I was a creep. Nobody's gonna do it.
Yeah.
I was talking about, I want to turn math. She said, no, keep going. You've got too much invested. And then the wife got hold of it. Oh, no. And then I was talking about shipping the bike back.
Mhm.
Because you can put it on a
Yeah.
ferry and then ship
Mhm.
it back from Seattle and flying back. No, I'm already here. I can do it. I can do it. At one point, I suffered where my hand got like this.
Oh, my gosh.
And I could no longer move my fingers. Because it was almost freezing rain coming down, right? I'm going on the bike. I don't have the proper wet gear.
Mhm.
And I'm supposed to use this for the front brake.
Mhm.
And this is for the foot brake.
Mhm.
And I'm terrified that this thing froze. It never happened to me before.
Oh, my gosh.
So I had to stop. I had been buying some CBD ointment.
Mhm.
I said, get that, get icy hot,
Yes.
add some salts. So I treated myself. I made it back, no problem.
Oh,
I did like
awesome.
500, almost 600 miles. The last day I got up at 4 in the morning, and got here at 3:30 from north of the Texas Panhandle. But I was dumb. You don't ride in the dark.
Oh, gosh, no.
You can't see the pothole, but I just wanted to get home.
Oh,
I
man.
was afraid of the heat because it was so
Mhm.
hot. It's just so many different people. I ended up staying at a homeless shelter.
Mhm.
I was in Missoula, Montana. It was like $260 for the hotel room. I said, I'm not paying that.
Mhm.
That's just a few hours. So the wife's on the phone and she got, go over to this other hotel. I went over there, got the room and said, okay. The people at the counter were tweaking.
Oh, my gosh.
And the college girls were cleaning the rooms. And then there was a lady with no legs in a wheelchair in the room next to mine. And she dropped her lighters. I picked it up for her. And then she dropped her marijuana. It's legal there. I picked it up for her. I said, I put that in your bra. It's gonna keep all the other. Why is this lady sitting here? And there were guys eating in the car. What's going on? Apparently, the state of Montana issues vouchers for would-be homeless people to stay in hotels as long as they can show that they're somewhat working.
Mhm.
So I was staying in places with all these people. I had the best time. I bought pizzas
Mhm.
and we all had a really good time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, I got caught in a rainstorm right outside of Billings. I mean, it was pouring rain. But then I hit the wet gear, but it was so hard and you're on the road You can do it as long as there's no 18-wheelers next to you, because when they pass you,
Oh, it sucks you in?
it leaves a foam of water.
Oh, my
like
gosh.
fog. You can't see anything. You're blinded.
Oh, my gosh.
I'll tell you later.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Who wrote this?
Okay.
There's no room for me to sign.
I was thinking that just as we signed, I thought you could sign right in between. Sorry,
It's like,
I know, right?
and it's all caps. You know what I learned from watching a documentary? You know how people say they can look at your handwriting and they can tell whose handwriting it is? Well, according to, I guess I shouldn't say this, but according to the FBI, if you write in block letters, print. So what are you trying to say? Are you going to say this is not my writing?
My handwriting is so bad. If I don't do all caps, it is completely illegible. Couple that with a bit of palsy I have in the left hand, which is why I need to go to Jamaica.
You know, I would, when I was in the DA's office in synopsis, when people read my synopsis, it's in all caps. And so attorneys went to Norma and said, oh my gosh, was Judge Boyd upset because this is in all caps? And Norma was like, no, for some reason in synopsis, you can't increase the font size.
Yes.
And so I would put in all caps because it was easier for me to see. And so Norma would say, no, she wasn't upset.
It was not
It's just
yelling.
easier to see. Yes. Oh, when I would yell in emails and put in all caps, I would say, yes, I am yelling in this email. That's why it's in all caps. So I don't like confusion.
Good comment.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And if you want a copy of that, just make it in the back.
May I approach you?
Yes. Do you have the file?
I
Are you
don't.
approaching on a file?
I do not have a place.
People are not remembering the rules.
Well.
It's mainly a chance.
All right. Who's here on Kerry Henderson?
I am, Your Honor.
Henderson, where is he?
Mr. Henderson's in custody.
Oh, come down. And counsel, you're on this side. All right. This is a possession less than a gram case. What's happening with this?
So Judge, there's two cases that are within indictment.
All right. Excuse me, everyone. Could you please whisper?
Sorry,
Yes.
Judge, there's two cases that are awaiting indictment. He was just arrested in late May. It's a drug case. We haven't gotten the laugh back yet.
All right. And the other cases that he's waiting on, those are drug cases as well?
So it's one drug case and then one fraudulent use or possession of identifying info case.
All right. And in the drug case, do you have any idea what level felony?
So right now it's starting off as a third degree, 1-4, but
My hunch is once those labs come back, it's going to be probably a state jail.
there's at least a chance.
All right. So Ms. Ferguson, on this case, well, before I ask her for a date, with regards to the fraudulent use, how long is it going to take you all to get information on that for defense?
I think everything's uploaded to eDiscovery. I mean, I pulled it up on our end of thing. So he should have access to that as long as he's the attorney on that case.
I am the attorney on that case. It's Windcrest PD. I didn't see the prosecution guide full disclosure, so I'll go back and recheck what has been uploaded to me.
Okay, because I don't want him in jail for a long time and it's just a state jail. So I'm going to give you all a 30-day reset. But if you all have everything before then, just come back to the court and we'll put it on the docket. Okay,
Very good. Thank
we'll
you.
put it on the docket sooner. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Henderson and just do it for discovery? I'm sorry, August when? All right, so we'll be back on August 10th. And Ms. Ferguson, can you give him a reset form in case he's released?
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Is there anything else?
Nothing for the bench round.
Sean Smith. All right, just one moment.
Okay.
All right, so we're just here for the update on the federal case.
Apparently, Your Honor, I'm speaking with the clerk. My client is still in federal custody. So the only way to handle this is, what I think you have to follow a judge's warrant or something
But
to
do
get.
we know what the charges are?
That I'm not 100% sure on, Judge.
Do we know who his federal attorney is?
I don't know that. She just walked up. She knows where he is, but
So is he in,
he's in federal custody.
has he been sentenced? Or are they just waiting for, because if they're waiting for a trial for him or something,
No, I believe he's been sentenced and he's actually serving his time. Apparently he was here, over a year ago. I was on his case at that point and I got appointed afterwards.
so do we know if he's been sentenced?
No, Judge, and I can find that out. I don't know. I'm not aware right now. That he's been sentenced federally. I do know that we made an offer that would run concurrent with any type of federal case.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Sean Smith, recall this for next week. So, and what I want to know is who's his federal attorney and whether or not he's actually been sentenced. Because if he's been sentenced, then we'll bench warrant him. But if he hasn't been sentenced yet, they're not going to honor any bench warrant we have.
Understood, Judge.
Okay.
July 13th.
All right, so we'll be back on July 13th. Is that good for you, Ms. Thorne?
Unless I'm in trial, I might possibly,
Okay,
I might possibly be in trial, but if not, yes, ma'am.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, who's here on Ernest Ramon? I'll just have a seat. Your attorney will be back. Laura Ashby. Laura Ashby. Where's Miss Ashby? All right, is there a reason she's not coming forward?
She was grabbing her purse.
Okay, all right, Miss Ashby, are you requesting a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Ferguson, I need a jury trial date for Miss Ashby. Who is the prosecutor on this case? That's Criminal Trial Division. All right. So Norma, I'm anticipating this is a trial that will probably last no more than 2 days. It's a drug case.
Your Honor, I have a vacation letter in like the 17th through 31st of July. As of August 1st, I'm good anytime after this works.
Just one second. Norma, are we able to recall it for next week?
Next week is a snag with that. I have to go to Michigan for a deposition on Thursday and Friday.
And when is your vacation?
It starts the 18th of July,
And when is it in?
or the 31st. That's what I'm saying, like August 1st. I think it'll be- That's
All right, Ms. Ferguson, jury trial in August. Excuse me, miss. Two things. Number one, there's no gum chewing. I would love to have gum right now, but I don't, out of respect. Number two, there's to be no crop tops, no belly showing. We're not at the club. All right, what date, Ms. Ferguson?
thank you.
All right, your jury trial is going to be August 1st. Your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plead open to the court. Do you understand? All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you'll give them a reset form, please. Remember, which page is Miss Ashby on? All right, thank you. All right, Eugene Boyd. All right, Ms. Christian, you're asking to withdraw?
Yes, Judge, I was originally appointed, as you know, some time ago. The defendant already received probation in May. My agreement, my representation had ended at that point. Unfortunately, Mr. Boyd still thinks I am his attorney. So
All
just
right.
to be clear to everyone, I've sent him a copy of this motion and I'm asking the court to sign.
Okay, we'll go on the record. The court is calling 2023 CR 3281, State of Texas versus Eugene Boyd. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
for the defense?
Melissa Christian.
Are you Mr. Boyd?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your attorney has filed a motion to withdraw. Are you aware that your attorney wishes to withdraw?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the reason she's withdrawing is because her representation has concluded. Was this an appointed case?
It was, Your Honor.
All right. So once the agreement, the plea agreement was entered and you accepted the plea bargain agreement, her representation at that point ended. So she is filing a motion to withdraw so that on the record, her representation can be ended. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your motion to withdraw is granted.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Excuse?
Yes, you may be
Thank you.
excused. Now, Mr. Boyd,
Yes, ma'am.
we have an issue. Do you know what that issue is? And we can go off the record. The issue is you're supposed to go to, first I sent you to felony drug court. And you didn't want to do that.
It's not that.
I know. Here's the thing. I've told you this time and time again, and I don't know how many times I have to tell you this.
But this.
Listen.
Okay.
I am in charge of setting conditions of probation, not the state, not your attorney. When you signed your agreement with the parties, your plea bargain agreement, and I go over the pleas in great detail so people can understand. This right here, I let people know that this is outside the agreement. These are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow that. Do you understand? And your answer was yes, because if your answer would have been no, I would have said, all right, you all need to go back and confer. Let me tell you what this note says, and it's in all caps. The parties are not allowed to make binding agreements regarding the length of community supervision or the terms and conditions of community supervision, which are totally dependent upon the court's discretion. The following recommendations do not constitute part of the formal plea agreement. However, the state, both parties, make the following non-binding recommendations. So I know you keep saying, I'm not supposed to be at safety. I'm not supposed to be in felony drug court. Guess what? You are, because I ordered it. And there is no agreement that could have been made between your attorney or the state saying these are the only conditions he will accept. So let me just tell you what's going to go down. I'm not having another compliance with you. You're either signing to go to safety or a motion to revoke is going to be in it. The end. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have been back before me numerous times with me explaining to you why you are being recommended for different things. I don't send anybody to felony drug court unless they have a drug problem. You have a drug problem. I don't send anybody to safety or SATF if they don't have a drug problem. You have a drug problem. And for some reason, you don't want to acknowledge it. So maybe you want to go to prison. If you want to go to prison and do your time, you're looking at 5 years in prison, potentially. So if you would like to do your time, then stop wasting everybody else's time. I'm not referring you back to felony drug court. I referred you there twice. And I received a note said, you were rejected. Client was offered felony drug court for the second time and refused. So you're not going back to felony drug court. So you're either going to SATF or a motion to revoke will be filed. So which do you prefer?
I'll go to Saturday.
You are signing that today. And if you do not sign it today, a motion to revoke will be filed and we will be hearing whether or not you should go to prison. Do you understand?
No.
Is there anything else you don't understand?
It's fine, man.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to write in that file. All right, Ernest Ramon. Yes. So what is happening here?
Well, yeah, I've spoken with him and he's perfectly capable of communicating to me in his own defense, and he understands the charges against him.
All right. So have you conferred with the state?
No.
All right. So you need to confer with the state. And this is family violence. So Brittany, can you make sure that you all confer with him? All right. Just have a
This
seat.
is just on the issue of his confidence going to trial.
All right. But you said you've conferred with him and he understands everything. You just told me he's not incompetent.
Yes.
All right. So
And
confer with the state.
That's my opinion. That's-
All right. So confer with the state.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. White.
So did you have a chance to speak with any of the prosecutors to see what they do? Okay, awesome. And so right now, what's happening is the attorneys are conferring with the state to see if they can come to some sort of an agreement. If they can't come to an agreement, what will end up happening is, depending on where they fall on the docket, they may be set for a jury trial. Yes, if they can. Sometimes the issue is they don't have all the discovery. And I want to make sure that both the defense and the state have all the discovery they need and they're actually ready. So sometimes on cases, some of these are first settings, and the fact that this is the first time they've been to court because the case was recently indicted. So what I like to do is get a chance for the defendant to know what's going on in their case. And honestly, communication is key, because if you think about it, people, 9 times out of 10, people are charged with offenses. They don't know the process. They think, oh, I've been charged, we're taking care of the case today. And sometimes you can't, because everybody doesn't have their discovery. And discovery is just all the information about the case and any other extra things that the state may have or some third party may have. Yes. And so we'll set it for a discovery date. And so right now we're about to do a sentencing on Guadalupe Gutierrez. So in this case, they entered a plea bargaining agreement. He applied for deferred adjudication. And yes, so what ends up happening when they apply for probation, they come to the court and I make a decision off the PSI, and the PSI is really just a pre-sentence investigation report. And in it, it will tell you the person's criminal history. It will give you a recitation of the facts of the case again. It will have in it any type of statements from the complainant and any statements from the accused. It will say if the person has mental health issues, if they have drug issues, what their home life is. And so I'll base my decision off the PSI report and any other evidence that people submit to me. So in this case, their plea bargain agreement is a cap of 10 years, and the state is remaining silent on their application. So that means the state is not going to say, yes, I want this person to have deferred adjudication, or no, they're going to be silent. But even though they're silent, they are able to speak on fact issues. If they think someone is leaving a false impression with the court about a certain fact, or if they think somebody's being dishonest about a specific fact, then they can talk about that, but otherwise they're silent. All right. Oh, that's from probation. Yes. And probation is, I don't want to say they're backlogged, but it takes a while because they have to make sure that the information they have in the PSI report is correct. You don't want to get a PSI report that say somebody was in prison for murder and then it turns out they were not. So they have to do all the research on that and make sure their reports are correct. Yes, they'll go see him or her. If they're at the jail, they'll go see them. If they are on bond, they will set up an appointment for them to come in. And the defendant can talk to them, or they can say, my attorney told me not to discuss this. When I had clients, depending on the charge, I would say, don't discuss, it with them. So that's what we're about to do now. All right, who are the parties on Guadalupe Gutierrez? Sure.
Have a brief moment just to read the PSI.
All right, so just give us a moment.
Okay.
So how's the weightlifting coming along?
It's August 8th.
I'm so excited. Okay, she's
Powerlifter.
a defense attorney, but she's also a power lifter. Oh, she makes us all feel like slugs. I watch her lift all the time.
And I so appreciate it.
No, I admire you. That is awesome.
So when I competed in June 2nd, there was a qualifier for this meet. And I made the ultimate
Mhm.
this photo. And first, after that meet, I was away already. Then when that spot opened up.
Yes, you're ready. You need to do it. Oh, my mom and I are going to send prayers.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know you're going to do great. And you know what? The fact that you actually made it, that's awesome.
So
We'll have to do something. All right, and then sometimes I get these that are off docket. And basically off docket matters are attorneys just coming in. They want me to hear something that is not on the day's docket. And so what ends up happening with these cases, I put them at the end of the pile because they're not on the docket so that I can handle the cases that are currently on docket. So, let me see.
Angela Gonzalez. Ruben Ariano.
All right, Charles Gold. Yes. Good morning. How's it going? Yes. So on this case, have you had a chance to talk with the state?
Yeah, they just said to bring the complainant forward and that you'll want to talk with them.
Yes.
And
All
so I've
right,
got them right here.
let's come forward.
Will you come up here, sir?
And where is your client?
I did bring him. If you want to redo this, I'll do that later on. I didn't know.
Well, you want to have him by Zoom?
I didn't want to violate the.
No. You want your client by Zoom?
No, I was gonna do it without his being here. I figured this was something that you just wanted to speak with him about.
All right, well, what we can do is I can speak to him about it, but if you can have your client by Zoom and that won't violate the no contact. Are you able to have him zoom in?
I didn't tell him about this at all.
Oh, no. If you can see if he can zoom in, because if I grant this, I want to give him instructions.
Understood.
Yes,
Understood.
So- yes, if you want to call him and speak to Ms. Ferguson, because she has the Zoom link. And
Okay.
state, are you going to be an objection?
We're not waving our arms and objecting. No.
Okay. All right, so just see if you can get him to zoom in and we'll take it out.
Okay, have a seat back there, Mr. Pivot. I'll be right with you. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
I don't get to stay here no more. I can go.
So this is his motion, and that's what he wants me to hear.
Okay, we're ready to.
Okay. All right, Diana, are you ready? All right, I'm gonna need everyone to whisper. And Mr. Piker, if you can move your client down to the other end. Court is calling 2023 CR 1012, State of Texas versus Guadalupe Gutierrez. Can I have parties approach and announce for the record for the state?
Daniel, let's talk with state attorney.
Defense?
Lorraine Efron for defendant, we're ready, Judge.
And are you Mr. Gutierrez?
Yes, sir.
All right, you entered a plea of deadly conduct with a firearm as a third-degree felony. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years. The state is remaining silent on your application. And then there are no contact orders. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, sir.
Defense?
Yes,
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
no, Your Honor.
All right, the state is silent. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Just, if I may, I have a couple of paycheck stubs or 3 paycheck stubs of my clients that I'd like to offer. And I had given the state an opportunity to review them. And then I have some photographs of my client with his daughter, if I may offer those to the court for your consideration.
Yes.
Judge, state sign.
All right.
I also have a letter from his boss, Judge. I need to find that.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. I didn't. Where would he have sent it from? Okay. I'm looking for the letter from his boss, Judge. I
All
have
right,
read-
if there's no objection from the state, if you want to make a proffer what the letter says, I do believe he's employed.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can look at this. It's a
It
matter of
just,
public
it
record.
speaks to his, promptness as an employee, as a valuable employee, and as to him being consistently employed and being able to be continued to
be employed should the court grant this application. This speaks to how much the employer values him as an employee, Judge.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
Mr. Gutierrez, on his behalf, Judge, has had a lot of time to reflect during the pendency of this case. He has 3 children, including a daughter whose picture I showed you, his biological daughter. And he has recently reconnected with her and reestablished good communication with her mom and with her. And he feels extremely motivated now between the opportunity he has at work to do well and his relationship with his daughter being very positive. And he wants to be able to continue in that path and show the court that he can do better. I see the PSI recommends intensive outpatient. I think their focus is probably alcohol. And if the court were to deem any other conditions of free, he would absolutely comply with whatever conditions the court would deem appropriate. He has been on GPS for a considerable amount of time while this case was pending. I think maybe since
So it's been a year or 2 months.
a year and 2 months, he's been on GPS with no violations. And I think that speaks to his motivation to do better and his respect for the court orders and his ability to be a successful probationer. And I hope the court will take into account, that's a significant amount of time. He was on full GPS house arrest, and then that converted to partial where he's been able to work, but no violations. And so we're hoping the court will give him an opportunity to show the court that he can be successful on probation.
All right, but here's my concern and what I don't understand. How old are you?
37.
You're 37. I don't understand going to a bar and people tell you to leave. And your answer to people telling you to leave is, I'm going back to my vehicle and I'm getting a gun and firing the gun. I don't understand that. So I don't know if he wants to be under oath to explain that to the court, but this is what I'm trying to wrap my head around. I don't understand why people's first answer to any situation is, let me go get my gun.
Well,
And I know people, I don't know, people seem to have a love affair with weapons. And if you want to have a love affair with the weapon, then you need to treat the weapon with respect, because the weapon can kill if it's in the wrong hands. And I'm just trying to figure out, there's an incident that happens. Somebody calls you out your name. Oh, let me go get my gun. I'll show you who I am. Somebody tells you to leave a bar because, I don't know, maybe you're intoxicated. Maybe there's some altercation. I don't understand why people don't leave.
I would say that the offense report and PSI reflect that he says he had 5 beers and 3 shots. So I would submit to the court that he was not thinking.
Yeah, I mean,
He
to
was-
me,
And I'm not saying that intoxication is a defense or mitigating at all. I'm just saying that, it causes a loss of impulse control. And
I mean, I understand what you're saying, counsel, but sometimes I think alcohol gives people courage to do what they otherwise wouldn't have done, as opposed to, oh, my inhibitions are released. Yeah. So I don't know if he wants to speak to the court or not, because I'll tell you, I'm leaning towards sending you to prison. I haven't heard anything that would suggest to me that I shouldn't send you to prison, because I don't know somebody who takes some shots. I realize you were intoxicated. I'm reading it, but people put you out of the bar. And it's on Mother's Day too.
It was 6 guys that took me out.
Yeah,
So.
because you wouldn't leave. When people tell you to leave an establishment, just leave. So I don't understand why I should give him deferred adjudication when he went to a bar, and according to things he's saying, somebody tried to come on to his fiance. That's when you leave. And they told him to leave, and maybe they were very rough and pushing him out of the bar. I will give you that. They were rough. They bruise you up, maybe push you out of the bar. But that's where you leave and go home. Hopefully you were not driving with those tequila shots. And then, or if you don't want to leave and you stay in the parking lot, you call the police, but you don't tell people, well, I'm going to show you who I am. And then you go to your vehicle and get your gun. Did your fiance say any, did his fiance say, hey, what are you doing? This is crazy. Let's just go home. Okay.
You know, the altercation at the bar wasn't good. I think that there were probably others there who also had weapons. Again, not to say that there's necessarily a defensive or mitigate, but maybe it's a little mitigating. It just turned out to be a very rough circumstance. I'm not making light of the offense because obviously it's serious. And I think that the PSI speaks to the alcohol being an issue and intensive outpatient. So I think if the court would give him some opportunity to address the alcohol and maybe perhaps anger management issues, maybe that would help to lessen his future risk to the
And I
community.
see that there are other people who had guns, because I see Eric Fields, who's one of the complainants, not the main complainant. He says, I just want my gun back.
Yeah.
This is Texas. We just want our gun back.
Right.
So ma'am, I haven't been in trouble since 2005. And being at that
You want to
bar,
raise your right hand to be sworn in? Can you, do you solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Guadalupe Gutierrez,
And let me just tell you, your statement about you haven't been in trouble since what time?
2005.
I haven't been in trouble since 1969, and I'm putting it at 1969 because I was potty trained by then. And I didn't pick up any criminal cases. I always tell people when they tell me, I haven't been in a gang, I don't do drugs, I haven't been in trouble. It's like, do you want a cookie for that? That's what you're supposed to do. So let's not start with, I haven't been in trouble since this date, because I'm looking at your criminal history and one of them is terroristic threat. And then criminal trespass. And is this criminal trespass with a weapon?
That was with a box cutter at my aunt's bar. I just left work.
Okay. And then the theft of a vehicle.
That was back in 04.
And now we're back here.
Yes,
And on on the probation from 2013 on the criminal trespass with a weapon, your probation had to be extended. Then on the theft case, a motion to revoke was filed and you were sent to TDC. And now you have this that started as an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and the state reduced it to a deadly conduct 3rd degree. So speak to me. Why should I give you deferred? I don't understand why I should.
well, man, I'm not a good talker, but.
That's
you told
okay.
me not to say how it started, but
No,
I
go.
was trying to prove a point that since 2005, I haven't been in trouble. You know, and all those years, I was in the oil field for 15 years and I've never had my daughter. So now that I got my daughter, it's a blessing to me because I always wanted it. So now I have an opportunity to be a father and I don't want to mess that up.
I mean, but you have.
I understand.
I think the reunification, if you will, sort of took place after this offense. Is that correct? Meanwhile, you've been on probation with your daughter.
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. It's just like I've been on the monitor and I can't blame nobody else but me. But it gets me kind of angry because I can't take my daughter out other than be with her in the living room.
Well, I don't know why you angry about that. That's all on you.
That's what I just said.
If you would not go to a bar drinking to the point of intoxication and you're in your 30s, You're not a teenager who doesn't know better.
I think that if the court would give him an opportunity for some form of treatment, I think he would welcome that and appreciate that opportunity.
I just don't think he's a good candidate for probation. I mean, shooting up a bar. And it wasn't,
It was outside in the
Mhm.
parking lot.
I see that come up. Thank you. And State, I know you're silent.
Yes, Judge.
Is our applications for probation, for community supervision and deferred?
Yes.
I don't know if it makes a difference to the court. I don't think it necessarily does, but we can withdraw the deferred.
Now, see, this is what I'm reading, and this is my problem. I can understand people being angry and getting upset with people. I honestly don't ever understand people pulling a weapon, because I always taught if you're going to pull a gun on somebody, you need to know that you're to kill somebody, and don't pull a gun unless you're going to use it. That's what I was always taught. But what it says here in the police report that you stipulated to, I contacted Jason, who is the manager and point of contact for surveillance. Jason provided me with footage from one of the cameras. Jason said he was working on getting footage from the other cameras as well. The footage showed Guadalupe, that's you, being taken out of the bar. He walks to his car and pulls out a small handgun. Guadalupe pointed the gun in the air where 4 spent shell casings were found. Guadalupe and Melissa got into the vehicle and he pulls up to the curb. Eric can be seen in the corner near a white car. Guadalupe opens the car door and his hand extends out. Guadalupe then lowers his hand with the gun and points it toward Eric.
I never pointed the gun at anybody.
I mean, that's what they
else.
say is on the video. I mean, this is video. This is not.
And I showed her that when I saw the video, I pointed it.
Well, because it's surveillance, some parts of it are a little clearer than others, but as the car drives out, it's a little bit less clear because of the angle of the camera.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the state, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
All right. How old is your daughter?
7.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with Eric Fields and Lefty's Draft House. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, and because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you. I did take into consideration that you have a child and that you want to be in her life and do better, but you're going to have to start making better decisions. And it's obvious that you can't drink alcohol at all. So no alcohol, you understand? All right, good luck to you. Who's here on Austin Anderson? All right, so this is solicitation of prostitution.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And are you all on this case or is it going to be another division?
It should be us, Judge. I didn't see any. Oh,
All right. So where are we on discovery?
We've received a discovery, Your Honor, and we've received an offer, state's recommending PCD on
Oh.
this case.
Okay.
So we're working on submitting that application to that program.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset for PTD on Austin Anderson? All right, we'll be back on August 10th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Yes, please. Thank you. No, what it is according to the law, voluntary intoxication is not a defense. So let's say somebody were to get intoxicated and kill somebody or rob somebody. They can't say, oh, I know I robbed somebody, but the defense to that is I'm intoxicated. What it is, it's mitigation. Maybe if you were not intoxicated, you would not have done certain things. So with regards to that sentencing, there are a lot of things I take in consideration. For example, I know he was doing well for a year on the monitor and did mess up. I know that he has a daughter who's 7. So with the 3 years, he'll still have a chance to be with her during her formative years, and hopefully he'll learn something and be better at it. Is Charles Gold here? All right, because I believe his person is by Zoom. Okay. All right, Christopher Acosta. Yes.
What's up?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Do you have an attorney?
No, ma'am, already getting interviews because last court date, started working.
I'm sorry, what?
I just started working and saving up money to get a good attorney because of my cases.
Mhm.
And, I'm gonna go have an appointment with Neil
Mhm.
today. So
Well, let me just tell you right now, I'm going to give you a reset date and I'm giving you a reset in 20 days. You need to come back here with an attorney.
that's fine.
Ms. Ferguson, on Acosta, 20-day reset.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What date? All right. Do not leave until you receive a reset form. Sure. Oh, no, is he here? Who is it? Olsen. You know, come up if you want me to talk to you. Yeah, sure. Oh, let me know when you're all ready.
Mr. Acosta?
Anthony Miller?
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. So today is his PTD. Was he accepted?
Your Honor, so he has been accepted. The issue was confirming whether or not upfront restitution was owed, which according to my conference, there's upfront restitution still needs to be paid, which we know the amount.
All right, what's the amount?
The amount is $705.20
$705.
and 20 cents.
All right, when is he going to pay that?
According to the client, we can, if everything's ready downstairs, we can pay it today.
All right, so he's going to pay that today.
Yes, sir.
And then has he already, is this the only thing that's outstanding or no?
Yes, Your Honor. Upon payment, then the contract will be released to us. So that we can,
All right, he needs to pay today. If he doesn't pay today, when we come back, the court is not doing PTD.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you give them a PTD date? And it's Miller.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
August 8th.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, Ms. Ferguson. We'll give you a reset form and then you're done.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll take him downstairs too.
All right, thank you. It's always good seeing you.
Same here, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right.
Ready, Judge?
All right, have him come forward.
Mr. Bolson?
Bolson. Hello. Hi, thank you for coming in to turn yourself in to go to treatment, okay? All right, do you need anything else?
No.
All right, so they're going to take you into custody. Make sure that you internalize everything that's being said so you can do better, all right? All right, thank you so much for coming in to report. All right, and who is your client, sir? Ramon? Can I see the client, Ernest Ramon, please? All right, have you conferred with the state?
I have, Your Honor, and she has no objections to being found competent to stand trial.
I believe there's a little bit of confusion. Mr. White, I guess, is under the impression that when the evaluators at the MAG mark mental illness, that it means incompetent. So I was explaining to him that I don't, unless he sees a reason for.
Okay, well, he's told me there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Ramon, I want you to understand that I understand that there are some mental health issues. So we will, depending on what happens with this case, I may be able to try to help addressing that. But has he received all the discovery?
After that, Your Honor, there was no further conferring. Everything that we have has been uploaded to my knowledge. I do wish to talk to Mr. White a little bit more.
Okay, all right. So you all are going to confer and then I'll bring you back up, Mr. Ramon. All right, thank you.
So, what I was gonna say, I was talking to the probation.
Hi, just give us a second. Oh, you're back, Diane?
Yes.
All right. All right, so who's your client?
This is the motion to alter the bond, judge, from a no contact order to no harmful and injurious contact.
All right, and this is family violence?
Yes.
Why do I know the name Pimentel?
Drug court. You've had him before here in drug court, and he just completed drug court.
Okay,
So that's what it is. So there's,
okay, because I was like, I know this name.
you had him.
He's been in our court.
Yeah, you had him.
All right. So does anybody have a police report or anything for the court to review on this? Is there going to be any objection to me reviewing the police report?
I don't think so, Judge.
And so is this an open case?
Yes.
Okay.
He was in drug court. He successfully completed drug court, Judge. And then this came up.
Okay,
So there's.
so when did he complete drug court?
Just.
Mr. Pimentel, unmute, please.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you successfully complete drug court?
Well, I haven't I've graduated from there. I haven't successfully completed it just yet.
All right, what date was your graduation? I know I was there, but I just don't remember the date.
Off the top of my head, I don't remember either, but it was the last one that they had.
Okay. All right, well, the state is pulling up something. If you just give us a moment while they pull that up.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to put you back in the waiting room. I'll bring you back in when we're ready. Jacob Escobedo. Hello, how's it going?
Good.
So are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to do anything in the upcoming season?
We're saying.
See, that's what I like. I like for people to feel that about their team.
Pointing up, they're pointing up.
You know, every year people here say the Cowboys are going to win and become champions.
We have a little bit more of a recent track record.
Yeah. Well, you know, when they had Tony Romo, I told them, I said, Tony Romo by any other name is still Danny White. And they're going to only get you so far. But then I had to take that back because at least Danny White was a triple threat. You know, when he's on fourth down, you didn't know if he was going to kick it or not.
They've got a little more success with Dak. They won a couple of playoff games.
Yeah. I think Tony Romo, once he fumbled the ball or muffed the ball in that championship game,
Extra point. Yeah.
I don't think he ever recovered from that.
They broke his collarbone.
Oh, yeah. And then people are like, but his numbers are the best. But that doesn't count when his numbers are usually great. Well, were usually great when the game was out of reach.
Kirk Cousins, same.
Yeah.
Same deal.
But when you see Cornelius Cox, tell him LSU beat Florida.
You will.
All right. So do you have all of the discovery in this case?
I do from the state. I am working on obtaining some additional information on our end that might be helpful to resolving this case.
All right. How long is it going to take you to obtain that additional information?
45 days. Is that reasonable?
No.
30?
Yeah. All right. State, were you able to tender an offer?
No, Judge, not yet. The playing witness in this case is here today, so I was going to talk to him after the regular moment of docket.
Okay.
Before I do that, Judge.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson. Can you give me a 30-day reset on Jacob Escobedo?
August 7th.
All right, August 7th. State, you need to tender an offer.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form, then you're excused.
Thank you, Ron.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Who's here on Michael Derone?
I'm here, Judge.
All right. Is this going to be a plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 1952, State of Texas versus Michael J. Derone. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
For the state.
Defense?
Sorry, Sean Sheffer for defending, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Derone?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Derone, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community service. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled court's admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with injury to a child bodily injury intentionally and knowingly? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? You need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He had, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Duran, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state recommends deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, sir.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 3 years. There be the BIPP course, no harmful or injurious contact with Michael Duran. Did you understand those are recommendations by the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
State offer State's Exhibit 1 and all its attachments. No objection.
Showing you what's entitled wavering consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review this with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything that you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. As you've sure read, this is a case, it's a little older, over a year old, Judge. During that time, he has worked with CPS. The child was never removed from him, from his custody. Child did very well with him. He did everything required. They ended up closing the case. It was not a legal case, Your Honor. He is just requesting, he understands he did wrong, that shouldn't have happened. And he's actually also already started a family violence class also, Your Honor. So we're just requesting the court to follow this recommendation.
So were you the CPS attorney?
No, that was not. He, like I said, Your Honor, there was actually never a legal case, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything you have to say for yourself?
Yes, I was, that day I was disciplining my child like a parent should. He acts dramatic and he was trying to, I understand what I did, but I'm trying to.
Yeah, you're trying to shift the burden on him.
Explain.
I don't believe he's trying to do that, Your Honor, because we have discussion, we had discussions. He understands
Well, he's
he went
saying
way
his
too
child was
far. He
asking-
went way too far. It shouldn't
He's-
have happened.
He's saying that his child acts dramatic. That's what he said. Dinah, could you, did he say that? Excuse me?
Yeah, Your Honor.
So he hasn't learned anything.
I disagree with that, Your Honor. Having
Well,
known him for
What have you
this
learned?
time.
I learned how to talk to my child. I'm always being there for him. He's always coming for me to advise. He gives me this random, I love you, I hug you. I'm always.
No.
Um,
Here's my thing. You told me that he was acting dramatic. You told me, and if the record is not clear, or if I'm remembering things incorrectly, please correct me. But you told me that one, your child is dramatic, and two, you started by saying, I was disciplining my child as a parent should. That's what you told me. So how does disciplining a child as a parent should result in a child having a belt mark on their face? And was that being dramatic? Because that's what it says in the police report, that he had a belt mark on his face, belt mark on his arm. And how old was your child at this time? What, 9, 8, something like that?
yes, ma'am.
So basically, what you have taught your child is that your child needs to fear you, which means that if your child accidentally sprays something in somebody's food, he can't tell you because he knows what's going to end up happening. He's going to get hit with a belt across his face. And I don't know why people think disciplining children equals, let me pull out a belt, let me beat you with a belt, because this wasn't let me tap you with corrections. And now you get an attitude with me. And let me just tell you, I will send you quick, fast, and in a hurry as a condition of your probation to the Bexar County Jail or either to the state jail facility. And you can see how your discipline works with other people at the jail if it comes to that. So I'm telling you, when you beat a child, this wasn't discipline, this was a beating. When you beat a child, what they learn is to fear you. And you are a grown man hitting on a child. If somebody, let's say, for example, you're at somebody's house, they invite you over, you're sitting at the table and you drop your food on the ground or on the carpet, and it's white carpet, and they get angry. And so they take a belt and slap you across the face. And they tell you, well, I'm just disciplining you because you knew this is white carpet. You know, I told you to be careful not to spill anything on my carpet, and you did. You know what you would do? You would call the police and you would file charges because that person hit you. So you've gone beyond disciplining your child. And I don't know why people don't understand that. And you can say your child out of the blue is saying, I love you and all of this. Sometimes you know why they're doing that? Because they're walking on eggshells. Because you have put fear into this child. If this child were to pick up a criminal case, you know what they'd come to court and tell me? His attorney would? He suffered trauma. Well, what trauma did he suffer? Well, his father beat him. They're not going to come in and tell me the father disciplined him. They're going to come in and tell me my father beat me. And that's what this was.
It wasn't like that, Judge.
Did he have a belt mark across his face?
I can't recall. I don't remember. I remember him just ducking, and Usually when.
Oh, just ducking.
Usually I try to punish him, send him to his ground him, take away his video games because he does wrong. He understands that.
So why did you beat him with a belt across his face? Is it because the girlfriend came to you and said, this is what happened?
No, that wasn't the case at all.
Yeah, so why did you beat him?
It was just, he was acting up during the day and it was,
Doing what?
well, prior to that, we had went swimming, he had jumped in the deep end and I told him, don't do that. So I went after him. And then when we got out, he kept on picking on his sister and my daughter. My daughter's like, Dad, he keeps on messing with me, keeps on pushing me, acting like he's gonna push me into the water. So we go out to get food. We come
Who's
home.
your daughter's mother?
The
I mean,
same
sorry,
ma'am.
who's the same mother?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Finish your story.
And so my daughter is like getting irritated and I'm just like, calm down, because he has ADHD. And so we get home and we finally sit down and for dinner, we say our prayers and everything. And he decided to get some Lysol and disinfect her burger because it was during COVID. And so he was just acting up. I sent him to his room. He goes and slams the door and I'm like, behave. My daughter comes back crying, that he had done something to her toy box and said, son, what's wrong with you? And he was just very quiet. I said, well, tell me what happened. Just quiet. And so I didn't mean to hit him as hard. I didn't mean to hit him at all, but I was trying to tell him like, you need to calm, you need to behave already. You need to, stop messing with your sister. Don't go trying to push her into the deep end. He already went into the deep end and kind of sort of drowned. But I was able to, save him. So I wasn't trying to target him. I was trying to make him understand that it's not okay for you to continue acting like that.
And what have you learned from your parenting classes? Because I'm assuming CPS gave you parenting classes.
No, it's voluntary.
Did you do parenting classes?
Yes, ma'am.
Who did you do parenting classes?
It was compadre.
Okay. I like compadre.
And I learned a lot.
What did you learn?
I learned how to calm myself down, don't explode. Take a deep breath, wait a little bit, talk to him, settle him down right. Try to understand where he went wrong, where we both can try to understand each other. He is very active, he's very compulsive, and that's part of the ADHD that he has from his family, from his mother's side. My daughter is just like me, we're very chill, we're very calm. And he just.
See, you keep saying, so the daughter has the same mother as your son?
Yes.
Okay, and where is the mother in all of this?
She hasn't been active. She has never been present in South. I took custody of them when my daughter was out the hospital because she was born with methamphetamine in her system. My baby mama was a drug addict, so
Mother of your children.
yes.
All right, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I do renovation and remodeling, demolition work as well.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. 4 years deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to give you 200 hours of community service restitution. If you provide your certificate or proof that you completed the compadre parenting course, then I will deem that the community service hours are satisfied.
Thank you, Judge.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs, field visits, random, one time a month for 3 months, Then if all is going well with the field visits, then we will decrease it to one time every 3 months random. And that will stay in place until further notice. There's to be no harmful or injurious contact with Michael Duran. And probation, is there some, I don't think this is a BIPP issue. This is more a family issue. Is there some type of family counseling that can be?
Your Honor, I'll look into, I can look into it. And, yeah, I can look into it.
Your Honor, he has also started a class, so maybe you can give that to them and see if that would work.
Yes. So I just don't think this is a BIPP course situation. This is more family dynamic situation. All right, probation. Is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go out the record. Good luck to you. You're gonna have to do better. And you're gonna have a lot to make up to with your son, because believe it or not, I know you say things are better, yes, but your son is always gonna remember that. So you're gonna have to make it up to him and let him know.
He saw me get arrested in March and he's like, Dad, I didn't mean to get you in trouble. And he's like, Dad, every time the cops come, he's like, are you gonna go to jail?
Yeah.
I don't want him to be thinking that.
No, but see, you gotta turn that around and not let him make it his fault, because him saying that is him saying it's my fault, and it's not. Okay? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, can I see the file? What is your client's name? Ernest Ramon. Hello. So where are we?
Well, I've consulted with the prosecution and she pointed out some things to me. And Mr. Ramon wants to apply for veterans treatment.
Okay, so he's gonna apply for Veterans Treatment Court.
Yeah, and we spoke to the coordinator. He said he can evaluate him.
Did he give you an idea?
He said there's a wait. He didn't tell me.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Ernest Ramon, give me a reset date for 30 days so we can see where we are on the Veterans Treatment Court. All right, Mr. Ramon, we're going to bring you back on August 7th.
Okay.
She's going to give you a reset form. Make sure that you stay in touch with your attorney and stay in touch with Veterans Treatment Court, okay?
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Michael, before he leaves, he needs to.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you.
And there's an affidavit of burning that people.
Okay, just give me a moment. All right, who's Ross, Norma?
It's Moses Ross, and we're asking the court to approach with the state. They're gonna check out pretrial diversion. And we need a reset. I think August the 7th would work.
What's the date for PTD on Mr. Ross? Come forward. All right, Norma, for this PTD, what date? All right, August 7th. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. Thank you. I need to learn more about that one.
Yes. Just give me a call. Yes.
Nicholas Henderson. Court is calling 2022 CR 4823, State of Texas versus Nicholas Michael Henderson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Arnulfo Ortiz for Mr. Henderson.
Are you Mr. Henderson?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yeah.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Henderson, I'm showing you what's entitled application for probation. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We waive.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Both counts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me look here. Can I have you all approach?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, can you unmute us? All right, we're back on the record. State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge, can we, the state waives and abandons counts.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, Mr. Henderson, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're being charged with theft of a, well, motorcycle, but vehicle, 2,500 to 30,000 as a state jail felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
I understand.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. Henderson, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count one only. Punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There's a $500 fine. The state is opposing your application for deferred adjudication. They're recommending community supervision. There's to be restitution to Brennan, BRENNEN Perkins, and this cause number, the theft course, and the MRT course. Did you understand that to be the plea?
I do, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
I did, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
Not by me. He had filed one on his own.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. There be a TAP evaluation 200 hours of community service restitution, and no contact with Brennan Perkins. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charged in count one, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Your Honor, I submit states exhibit 1 in the attachments.
No objection.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it? And all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, we request that we follow the prosecution's recommendation.
All right, so you're not asking for deferred adjudication?
We are not.
All right. All right, Mr. Henderson, are you employed?
Yes.
What do you do?
I work in the oil field on a drilling rig.
We would ask that he be allowed to travel outside, although he will reside in Bear County.
All right, do you have any children?
I do.
What are their ages?
17 and 16.
And do they live with you or with their mom?
They live with their mother.
Okay.
I get custody of them when they're not in school.
Okay.
However you want to put that.
All right, you've been to prison before?
No, ma'am.
Jail before?
I've been to jail.
All right, for what?
Petty theft and DUI.
All right, and what's up with these tattoos?
Bunch of stuff when I was younger, just I've grown out of it all.
All right, what's with the arm that's covered in the black ink?
Yeah, that's a whole bunch of cover-ups.
Who did that cover up?
I had a friend of mine do
that-
that.
That
It's
was
horrible.
That's not from the ink show. When they do a cover up on the ink show, they do a great cover up.
Yeah, again, like I said, it once upon a time type of thing. I've grown out of all that.
And what's the tattoo on this side?
It's just a bunch of like Greek mythology stuff. Again, younger.
Oh, well, who is that supposed to be? I can't tell.
The Mary Magdalene.
She's not a part of Greek mythology, is she? I don't think she is.
No. But the rest of it is just,
Okay.
like I said, I was a lot younger and a lot dumber.
It's not his fault. He's from Indiana.
Wow.
All right.
We got watermelons too.
Okay. Well, hopefully they're sweeter than what's at the HEB. You know, I'll be the stereotypical Black person. I love watermelon, especially if it's sweet. This season hasn't been that good, though, Robert Porter. It's been hit or miss. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 4 years, 200 hours of community service restitution, probation. Since he's going to be working in the all fields, if he wants to pay that off at $7.25 per hour to the San Antonio Food Bank or some other charity that the court would approve of, you can do that as opposed to the community service hours.
Okay.
The theft course, the MRT course. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs, or you can do the patch. And usually a patch doesn't work in all fields, but probation can go over that with you. There's to be no contact and restitution, if any, to Brennan Perkins. And we'll do field visits 1 time per month, probation, and you can just check to see how things are at the home and make that one visit a random visit. And if you think he needs more, then you all can do it as needed. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And probation, if he's working in the all fields, then he's allowed to work in the all fields. Probation is, does he need anything else? Do you need anything else from the court to be successful?
No.
Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. The MRT course is supposed to teach you how to do what's right.
That's moral recognition therapy.
Yes,
Yeah,
but you
I've heard of it.
you should know the difference between right and wrong. How old are you?
I'm 39.
It's time to stop the foolishness. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in somebody's prison, be it Indiana or Texas or wherever. People don't like their property stolen. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Carlos Terrazas. Oh, if you can come down, please. And then Mr. Gold, I'll take your matter up.
Who is Ruth Gillen? What does she look like?
Who?
Your mother.
Yes, my mother is beautiful.
Well, it's a one-way deal. I've written to her 4 or 5 times. I don't know anything about her.
I will let her know. Mr. Terrazas, your attorney had a death in the family, so he's not going to be here today.
I already know. I'd asked him if I can get another attorney because he hasn't been showing up to any courts or he hasn't came to see me within 4 months that I've been here.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Norma,
And he also wrote a email to the DAs and basically telling them I was guilty without.
now here's the thing. Let me just explain something to you. In this court, I don't allow defense attorneys or prosecutors to speak badly about somebody unless they're here to address it, right? And so I don't allow people who are accused to speak badly about their attorneys unless they're here to address it. You understand? All right, so Ms. Ferguson, with regards to Mr. Terrazas, was Mr. Jimenez appointed? Can you call the MAC? All right, just have a seat. All right, Mr. Pimentel. And Mr. Barons? Bob Barons.
I'm here.
All right, Mr. Barons, your video is not showing.
It's not. It
Yeah.
is on my end.
Who are you here for?
Titus Ramirez.
All right, have you spoken
there
to
in
an
person.
attorney? Have you spoken to the prosecutors?
No, I have not. That's what I was hoping to do. I just sent a chat about that.
All right,
This is,
we
This is
will
the first
get a
setting.
prosecutor to call you.
okay, great.
All right, thank you. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 5075, State of Texas versus Parker Pimentel. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Travis, thanks for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Charles Gold from Mr. Pimentel.
All right, and we have Mr. Parker Pimentel by video. Any objections to the defendant being by video, state?
No objection.
No objections from Mr. Pimentel. For Parker Pimentel, that is.
All right, the defense has filed a motion asking that bond conditions be amended or altered and amended to allow for contact or allow him to live with the complainant. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor. We wish to change from no contact order to no harmful or injurious contact.
All right, state, are you going to have any objection to this?
Well, the state is not in agreement to that motion, Your Honor, and so I guess by virtue of that, the state is objecting and allowing the court to make a ruling.
All right. All right, state. And do you have any witnesses?
The state has no witnesses.
All right, defense, the court asks that the complainant be present, and I see the complainant is present. State, have you had a chance to speak with the complainant?
The state,
He's here.
I don't think the state has spoken.
All right, would you all like to speak to him?
Can I make a comment, Judge?
Just one moment. Have you all talked to the complainant?
We're looking into our notes at the moment.
Well, do y'all want to speak to him? Because I see that this is about, according to the police report, which no one had any objections to the court reviewing, it's about a laundry basket and somebody being hit with a laundry basket. So do y'all want to confer and get a chance to talk with the complainant?
Yes.
And defense? All right. Thank you. All right. So the state and the defense are going to talk with you. Okay.
Okay,
All right. Thank you.
thank you, Bill.
All right, Mr. Pimentel, I'm going to put you back in the waiting room.
Sure.
Yes. Yes, I'm sorry.
Thanks for being patient.
Oh, that's his. Yes, but for some reason in the report, it doesn't. Who's here on Amanda Christian?
I'm here, Judge, and she is here. I'm still kind of conferring, but this is our first setting and I still need to do some background work on her. She's here, Amanda.
All right, can we go off the record for a moment? Can you mute me? All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, can I have a 30-day reset? It's Amanda Christian. All right, we'll be back on August 7th, so just sign the reset form, okay?
Thank
Then
you
you're
so much.
excused.
Maybe be
You are-
excused.
Yes. Mark Lewis. Court is calling 2022 CR 8453, State of Texas versus Mark Daniel Lewis. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins with the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Ed Piker from Mr. Lewis.
And are you Mark Daniel Lewis?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm showing you what's entitled motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Mark Daniel Lewis who is placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 8453 for the offense on unlawfully carrying a weapon with a felony conviction on January 13, 2023 for a term of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Honor, violated condition number 15G, on or about the 26th day of May. And Judge, I'd like to orally.
Oh,
amend-
just one moment. Excuse me. Could you, if you all could move to the other end. Okay. All right. Are we proceeding on the motion as presented, State?
Judge, we'd like to orally amend, I've conferred with defense counsel. We'd like to orally amend the year. It should be May 2023 instead of May 2026, Judge.
All right. Any objection?
Judge, I confer with my client on that and we have no objection.
All right, Mr. Lewis, do you understand that that's a substantive change to the motion to revoke?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that your attorney has 10 days to prepare for trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, did you wish to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, State.
On or about the 26th day of May 2023 in Russ County, Texas, the defendant, Mark Daniel Lewis, did then and there fail to comply with the rules, regulations, or instructions.
Excuse me, just one moment. Were you changing that date?
Yes, Judge, to 26th day of May 2023.
Okay, all right, thank you. Sorry about that.
Sorry. In Russ County, Texas, the defendant, Mark Daniel Lewis, did then and there fail to comply with the rules, regulations, or instructions of the Bexar County Community Supervision and Corrections Department Substance Abuse Treatment Facility, in that the defendant was behaviorally discharged from the East Texas State ISF unit in Henderson, Texas, in violation of condition number 15G.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation 15G, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 6 years in prison?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of 15G?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of 15G true. Is there an agreement?
Judge, we don't necessarily have an agreement. I have no object. The defense counsel has spoken with probation and we've conferred. And I think he has a proposal that he'd like to make to the court that the state has no objection to.
All right, Mr. Piker.
That's correct, Judge. And then I will call my client because he knows better what happened than I could ever tell you.
All right, Mr. Piker, what are you requesting?
I am requesting that the court consider keeping him on probation, not revoke him, and move him out of, don't revoke him, don't send him back to that facility and send him to lifetime recovery. We've looked into it. It's a 3-month residential. He's motivated. Actually, it was his suggestion that if that was possible to get him out of there, he wants to help. He wants to get off the drugs, but he can't do it where he's at.
Okay.
And he is going to explain that to you better than I can.
All right, Ms. Abrams,
I apologize. I cannot hear.
on this case, it is Mark Daniel Lewis. There was an incident at Henderson and he wants to, his attorney is suggesting that he be placed in inpatient at lifetime recovery.
Your Honor, probation would not have any objection.
Okay. And so that I will know, what is the issue with that facility? We'll say allegedly.
Would you like to hear it from me or from Mr. Lewis?
Either one.
Mr. Lewis can explain it better than I, but I will tell you that he was in a gang. He was in a gang when he got there. He wanted out of the gang. He told him he wanted out of the gang. His life was threatened.
well-being was threatened. And quite honestly, from what he tells me, there was so much drug usage there and fight night that it was not conducive to getting better. It made it worse.
All right, and this is at the facility in Henderson, Texas?
Yes, ma'am. He will swear, he'll tell you that under oath.
Oh, no, I'm going to make sure that the facility at Henderson, Texas, that we do, that a spot check is done, random, so I can figure out what's going there, because the last thing I want is someone who's trying to get treatment and wants treatment to be sent to a facility where it's difficult to receive that.
And that's why I wanted to address you, because I knew you'd be interested.
All right. You want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name.
Mark Lewis.
All right, so tell me what is going on at the Henderson facility?
Whenever I was here in this courtroom on January 13th, I signed for the 10 years probation. You gave me the choice to go receive help or go to TDC, where, so I chose the help. And whenever I was finally transported to Henderson, Texas, I threw myself into the program and I started learning about thinking errors. I started learning all the aspects I needed to learn for my first track, which was cognitive intervention. And I had a very successful 45-day call. But during that time, I made the decision to step away from the gang affiliation that I was affiliated with. And I made it known that they were doing fight nights. There were people out there still smoking K2.
Fight nights?
Yeah, it was disrupted. The counselors would come in and they would read from a piece of paper for an hour and they would leave until the next day. And it was back to the same stuff. And I made it known that I didn't want no part of any of that anymore. I was trying to get back to my daughter. I let everybody know, like, I was back in my Bible. I was trying to get myself right. And a lot of people took that offensive, and they threatened me, and they were trying to jump me. And thankfully the guard was able to see that something was going on, and they pulled me out of the dorm that I was in, and they placed me in a single man cell in restrictive housing. And when they came, they were like, they wanted to send me back to that environment, and I wasn't trying to go back to that environment because of the threat. And they said that by refusing that environment, I was refusing the program. And I knew that I would have to come back here and address you, but I'm trying to do better.
Okay. No, I appreciate that. So what I'll do then is I'll deny the motion and I'm going to alter and amend conditions to include lifetime recovery, the inpatient, and you'll be transferred from the jail to lifetime recovery.
Yes, Sean.
All right. Is there anything else?
That was it.
All right, we can go off the record. See what I mean about communication being key? If I don't know this is going on, then, but thank you so much for letting me know.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You didn't get any more tattoos while you were there, did
No,
you?
thankfully not.
Okay.
Thankfully not.
And he's not from Indiana.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
Thank
thank you, Your
you.
Honor.
Thank you for letting me know.
Thank you.
Norma Elizondo. Who's the attorney on Norma Elizondo? All right.
Elizondo?
All right, counsel, have you received all the discovery?
Not yet, Your Honor. You're giving it to me. We should have it soon.
Well, there's a lot of discovery. I haven't been able to confirm that we have the CPS records.
Okay.
Look into that.
Yeah, that's all.
All right,
You
Miss.
give me one, I could probably have it all done by then, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, because I'm being told it's a lot of records in this, I see this is an SBI omission. So Ms. Ferguson, on this case, can you give me a 45-day reset, please?
Good judge.
I think that one on August 31st.
All right, we'll be back on August 31st. And Ms. Elizondo, this is for me to make sure that your attorney has all the discovery. Do you have any questions about anything? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Joey. Would be excused?
Yes.
They're gonna take it. Come in. Sit it back down. Go ahead, sit it.
Who's here on Elazar Sierra? And then after that, the cases that I have are Juan Cuellar, Carlos Terrazas, and Cetera Portillo. Umberto, it's always good seeing you.
Good to see you, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 3412B, State of Texas versus Mr. Sierra. How do you pronounce your first name? Eliza. State of Texas versus Eliza Sierra. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Humberto Saldaña for Mr. Sierra.
And are you Mr. Sierra?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Sierra, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We waive.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented
Yes, Your Honor.
on both counts?
Yes, sir. Well, I believe the first count is with intent to deliver and the second count is just mere possession. So we're proceeding for the judge.
All right, let's go off the record for a moment.
Yes.
All right, you can unmute us. All right, state, are you proceeding on count one, waiving count two?
Yes, Judge.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, Mr. Sierra, I'm showing you what's entitled court's admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams? That's a first degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. Sierra, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, state is proceeding on count 1. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 8 years in the prison. There's a $500 fine. State recommends community supervision. There's to be judgment satisfied entered in county court for cause number 699061. You are to agree to have the weapon destroyed. And there's to be no possession of firearms while on community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 8 years and there be a TAP evaluation. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense as charged in count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Your Honor, I submit State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
Any objections?
No.
All right, State, you may continue to confer.
Thank you.
Showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, he is gonna work once out there. He says that he is looking to get this all behind him. And he is asking for intensive outpatient treatment if possible, because he works so many hours. I know that the TAP will show that up, Your Honor. I just wanted to add that.
All right. So what do you do other than have cocaine and meth?
I do framing and construction cleaning,
Mhm.
and I have a business, clothing business that I'm trying to get off the ground.
Mhm.
And
you're just doing drugs on the side, part-time?
no, just being foolish, Your Honor.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
I mean, how many years are we going to take this foolishness with us?
That's and everything happens for a reason. And being here incarcerated, you know, I've never really read the Bible and stuff like that. And I found that light in me now, you know, and I wake up more happy and everything now, you know. I'm ready to just take my life, you know, serious.
Yeah, what's your favorite verse in the Bible?
The Lord is my shepherd.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what verse is that?
It's Matthew.
What verse is that?
It's Psalms 23.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
It's my first time like really getting into it, you know.
Oh, no. I'm happy. Sometimes, you know, people will always say that people find Jesus at the jail.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they pretend like they're doing. But I'm always interested.
Yeah.
For me, whatever helps people get through this journey we call life,
Yes.
that's a good
I
thing.
got 3 daughters and
Oh, what are their ages?
6, 7, and 8.
And who do they live with?
With both me and my girlfriend,
Mm. And who's your girlfriend?
Emily Colleen.
What were you doing with Samantha then?
That's my cousin.
So you and Samantha Servin were out with
No,
drugs.
I wasn't out with,
I'm sorry, what?
I wasn't out with nobody.
What? What is he saying?
He's saying that he was not present with anybody at the time of the arrest.
No, you were in the vehicle. What is he talking about?
That is his cousin that is mentioned in there.
All right, is something wrong with him?
No, Your Honor, I believe that that's the only aspect that he sort of maintained was not accurate on the report. But he says everything else is accurate.
So you were not in the vehicle?
I was in the vehicle, but there's nobody with me.
Oh, so you're saying Samantha wasn't in the car with you?
I was by myself in that car.
No, they have S1 and S2.
Your Honor.
It says, based on my observations during my surveillance of the listed location and results of the traffic stop, we were able to detain S2, who was the subject of our investigations. We encountered S2 small children occupying several bedrooms of the home. Okay.
I was just drunk, I guess.
No problem. I understand. I'm going to need a PSI report on this. Ms. Ferguson, when can we come back? I need a TAP evaluation.
And I know it's a little unorthodox to ask, but would the defendant be eligible for a PR bond under the circumstances that he's already pled?
No, we'll see about a TAP evaluation and maybe we can get the TAP evaluation done quickly. Will it take long to have a TAP evaluation? Okay. Oh, thank you. So Ms. Ferguson, can we recall this back in 2 weeks?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm just asking for a TAP evaluation so I can get an idea of what's going on.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can have them come back on July 17th.
All right, so we're going to be back on July 17th. Mr. Sierra, you need to be very honest with what you tell them in the TAP evaluation because there's something going on here I'm not able to figure out because I don't have enough information yet. So make sure you're honest with them, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Yes, just a tap. Juan Cuellar? Oh,
Yes, Judge, you want me to go around?
yes. And Norma, what's the name of the guy that the MAC is here for? Yes, what's his? Okay.
Yeah, I was sorry.
I like being on this.
All right, thank you.
We have a whole new system. I had that.
All right, thank you.
Jim.
All right, thank you. No, he's on bond. Oh, sorry, no, he's not. He's in custody. Right there with his hand raised. Thank you. Juan Cuellar.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. What's happening?
On this one, Judge, we were here for discovery and
Yeah, GPS tracking.
yes, we did get the subpoena issued, sir. The custodian records is here. He's unable to turn the documentation over to myself or the prosecutor, so we're hoping he can turn it over to the court. So that
Okay.
the information is at least available.
Oh, come forward.
And so if we could do that, that would be a huge help, Your Honor. And then I think the state needs a little bit of time to take a look at those records and reach out to one of the complainants. And of course, I need to look at the records. I already kind of glanced through it. It already tells me what I need to know.
Okay.
but-
So I'm sorry, sir. What's your name?
Gordon. Gray.
All right, Gordon Brandon. Oh, I've seen you on
Yes, you
Zoom.
have.
See, if you would have came up and just did a box like this, I'd have been like, I know you. So do you need an order in order to turn the records over so they can see the GPS?
I mean, we have a subpoena, but I was told by my supervisor that I would need to come in and testify as to what the records were. So if the court would like a copy of the records, I believe we would need a subpoena from this.
All right, no, I mean, do you need me to have an order to have the records turned over?
Yes, I believe I would.
All right. So can somebody just write an order and then you'll have the records?
Okay. Well, no,
I said Monday.
okay. I can put an order together, Judge, I guess, to see if that'll work for them to get the records turned over.
Okay, and then I'll sign it and that way we can have the records since he's here. All right.
That's fine, Judge.
And so this is the last of the discovery, correct?
I believe so. We just need to do a little bit more conferring, and I think the state wanted to reach out to one of the complainants to see where they were with them.
So Judge, the complainant had a pending misdemeanor case. I reached out to his defense attorney. Apparently Lindsay had reached out previously, but then when she left,
Okay.
there was that gap. So now I have good contact information for him, so I'm going to be reaching out.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. On Cuellar, can you recall this in 45 days? That's going to be your plea deadline date.
Okay.
You all have to confer off docket. If you all come to an agreement before then, Mr. Cuellar, you can always come back earlier.
August 28th.
All right, so we're going to be back on August 28th. And if you all could just print out a B page and write on there and I'll sign the order.
Okay. That'll work, Judge.
All right. Gordon,
Yes.
is there anything in there that's confidential or something that's classified that would be an
That
issue?
I'm aware of. I mean, it shows his tracks.
Okay, all right. They'll do an order and I'll sign it and make a copy for you so you'll be able to turn the documents over
Okay.
Okay, they should be able to do
There's
this.
no medical information or anything like that.
Okay, all right, awesome. Thank you so much for coming down.
Yes. Sir.
Next time, if we have something like this, if you just want to zoom in
Okay.
and then email me the documents, that way you won't have to come all the way downtown.
Okay.
All right,
Sounds good.
but it's good seeing you outside the box.
You too.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes. Oh, go ahead and go.
Sorry, Judge, whenever we were talking and you said someone write up the order, I said, not it.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Oh, is he leaving with the paperwork?
I don't think so, and I can go talk.
Yeah, you guys want to go grab the paperwork for him? All right, who's here? Maria Chavez. Hello.
Judge, Mr. Porter wanted me to engage in a very long meandering conversation with you because he said he'd like to be here as long as possible.
Oh, yes, please stay. I only,
Is that what, did I misunderstand that?
all right, who do you have, Mr. Porter? All right, that's actually up next. The court reporter just had to take a brief break.
It'll only be about 30 minutes. So Judge, I've conferred, conveyed the offer and we're requesting a trial setting.
Okay. Do you have all the discovery?
Yes. Judge, I'm going to be filing a motion to set bond. Apparently she's in jail because her bond's been off for bond last year.
Yes. No, she had a no-show. At least that's what I have in my file.
All right, so that was my notes as well, November 1st of 22.
Yes. All right. An offer has been tendered. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a jury trial date? How long do you expect this to last?
I'd say probably 2 days.
All right, for 2 days.
And Judge, I'm out at the end of July from the 20th to the 30th. I'll be back.
Okay.
Anytime in August, I'll be available.
All right.
1 second, Judge.
Okay.
July 20th to 30th.
And Norma Ornulfo Otis also has Martinez Escato.
Works for me.
All right, August 8th. That will be your plea deadline date and your jury trial date. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
And on the criminal trial division side, if y'all can make sure you call Bob Behrens, he's by Zoom. And Norma, the attorneys were still waiting on Anton Hayek. Okay. And Gail Calderola. Okay. Thank you. Nifa Carrillo.
She's here. She's here.
Oh my gosh. Manuel Rodriguez. Patrick Montgomery. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Hey. All right. Could I see the parties on Portillo? Unless you would like to remain longer.
I just don't understand why attorneys come up here and tell you what they plan on doing instead of just doing it.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 2172 State of Texas versus Miss, your first name?
Setare.
Setare Portillo. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state.
Defense?
Robert Porter for Mr. Portillo.
And are you Miss Portillo?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
I did, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery, showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we would like to waive and abandon count 2, Judge.
No objection.
All right. Ms. Portillo, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams? That's a first degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years in life and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, court could find you guilty and sentence you up to life in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Portillo, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Extremely satisfied, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived a right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 1. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at a $2,000 fine and the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 8 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 200 hours community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged in count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Your Honor, I submit State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
No objection.
All right, you may be excused, state. Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Judge, I know that they had a TAP evaluation done, but also we would like to tender to the court. I just don't have it today. All her CPS said she's already completed too. So if the court would want to do a PSI, that'd be fine.
All right.
Or we could go today and I could bring it. in
Oh,
now,
I'm
whatever.
prepared to proceed today.
Okay, then.
All right. So counsel, are you waiving PSI?
Yes,
All right. What is the status of CPS?
it's finished and closed, completed. She's gonna bring me the documents. I guess she
I was waiting for my closing letter.
she has announced it. We're putting all that together to give to the court. So
Okay.
this CPS is done with, she has her kids. She did all the courses that CPS had recommended. And I wanted to address the court on the police report, because I know the situation with the children, it's written poorly. The drugs were not in the same room as the kids. They were different rooms at that point in time. Having said all that, Judge, it's a situation where you hang around the wrong people, influenced by the wrong person, you find yourself in this situation, that person is no longer part of her life. Like I said, she will be a perfect probation, Your Honor, and I know she will be successful.
So here's a $1 million question. And I'm looking at probation. Probation already knows my question. Oh, no, but you know what the question is going to be. When you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? All right, so we're going to do a drug test and then I'll come back and do a sentencing. All right, so they'll drug test her. Yes.
Judge, I have Angela Gonzalez. We just.
I don't have the file. So, all right, Laquan Hyson. Hello, how are you doing?
Doing fine.
All right. All right, so you want to now live with your grandfather?
At the time, yes, but I have
So now the answer is no.
no, ma'am.
All right, how old are you?
18.
Okay, everyone, you need to whisper, please. We're not going to do this thing in this court where first you're with your grandmother, then when you're with your grandfather, then something else comes up and then you want to move back to your grandfather. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Your grandmother and your grandfather really should not be raising you, but they are. So you can't do this back and forth. I'm not going to allow it. So who are you currently staying with now?
I'm with my grandpa, but just recently I got approved for an apartment and I wanted to move out alone.
Why?
Just to move on to the adulthood and just try to get things going by myself.
All right. So is there an issue with your grandfather?
No, ma'am.
How long has he been on probation?
Your Honor, since June 13th of 2022.
Where is this apartment located?
By Sea Road and Highway 151.
All right, this is what I want. Because you're 18. I want you to write up a plan. If you're going to be living in this apartment, the plan I want you to write up is, one, you need to find out how much your rent is going to be. Do you have furniture? Does the apartment come furnished?
No, ma'am.
Unfurnished?
No, my girlfriend moved in already. But I'm just not there. I don't have your approval. We already have furniture.
And how old is your girlfriend?
She just turned 19 a couple weeks ago.
And what is she doing with her life?
Well, I forgot what she's in college for, but she's in college but right now she works at a food restaurant called Kava.
And does her parents approve of you moving in with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, do they know?
Yes, ma'am.
They know your criminal history.
Yes, ma'am.
So you haven't been letting them meet your publicist.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, so when you start dating someone, if somebody sets you up on a blind date, for want of a better term, what people say is you don't meet the crazy. Everybody's on their best behavior. Everybody's perfect. Usually it takes about 6 to 9 months in the relationship where people start slipping, because you can only pretend to be someone else for so long, then the real you comes out. So that's what I mean by, has she really met you, and has the family really met you? Or are they still meeting your publicist?
Yes, ma'am. Before I got incarcerated, I was actually talking to her at school. And I was talking to her mom, and then when I got incarcerated, like I told her to tell her mom everything, and she was upset about it, but after that.
So have you spoken face to face with her parents, or is it just their daughter who's spoken?
No, I've spoken face to face. I met everybody.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I believe that.
I just met everybody recently, probably like a month ago.
All right. So let me explain something to you. People always say, why is Stephanie Boyd in my business? I'm in your business because you're in court, and I want you to be successful. And so far, what you've been presenting to me, without your publicist, just you presenting yourself to me, you've been moving back and forth with your grandfather, back and forth with your grandmother. Now you want to move in with your girlfriend. You still need to give the court what your budget is. Give it to probation. So the apartment, I guess, is already furnished because your girlfriend has furnished it?
Yes, both of us. I paid for it and she just decorated.
All right. Well, that's a hard job, decorating. That's not easy. All right. So I want you to put together what your budget is. I want to know what the electricity is, because I don't want you all to get there and then decide it's too much. A lot of arguments start in relationships over finances because somebody's not pulling their weight. So I want you to sit down. And if you want to sit down with her, you can, and figure out what your budget is. And as soon as you get that together, you can come back to court. And if it's all in proper order, I will allow you to live there. And I'm going to want a letter. And don't do this nonsense where you all are trying to pass off a letter as her parents' letter. I want a letter from her parents saying that they know your history.
Okay.
And they're fine with your living there.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if you're dishonest on that part, I'm going to find out about it. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what's your assignment?
To find out my budgets and to get a letter from her parents.
Yes. And if you're able to do that soon, the sooner you get that done, the sooner you can come back here before me. And if everything is in proper form, I will allow it. And I hope you all are not thinking about starting to have children. What do you want to tell me? Is she expecting?
I don't know. I know nothing yet.
Oh, my goodness. Well, can figure out the baby in the budget. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So he's going to put together a budget. Once he puts that together, a budget, and let him figure out the budget for a baby, because babies are expensive. They're cute though, but they're expensive. So, and let him include a baby in his budget. 18 and 19-year-old. Good luck. All right.
Have a blessed day.
No, let's see. Let him get that budget together, because if you're going to be an adult, then you need to know what your budget is. And if you all have a vehicle, you need to include insurance, gas prices, all of that. And if the utilities are not included in that apartment, you need to figure that out, and you need to figure out groceries. And go ahead and do an entertainment budget, because I know young people are not just going to sit at home. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Darianne De La Rosa. Hi. Good morning. Oh, you're on this side. Oh, yeah, you're on this side. Court is calling 2023 CR 4230, State of Texas versus Darianne De La Rosa. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense.
Caldwell here for Darianne De La Rosa.
Are you De La Rosa? Yes. All right, counsel, you received all the discovery. Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. De La Rosa, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Judge.
Showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with the offense of robbery? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe so.
Ms. De La Rosa, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived a right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, there's to be a $500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. They will take in consideration 696,426, 696,428, and there's to be a drug court evaluation. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that cannot be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours of community service restitution, and no contact with Monica Tobias. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
State offer states exhibit 1 in all attachments.
Thank you. You may be excused.
No objections.
Showing you what's entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony?
Honor. Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Probation. On this case, I'm going to want just a TAP evaluation and a referral to felony drug court.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Ferguson, what date can we come back? Yes, it's just going to be a TAP evaluation and referral to felony drug court.
Will my client have to remain in custody? Well, she has to remain in custody until she gets.
Yes.
the time?
They're going to come back on July 7th.
That's-
So we'll be back on July 17th. You need to be honest with felony drug court. You understand? All right, so we're going to recall. And it's for a TAP evaluation and referral to felony drug court. Felony drug court is a good program. All right, is there anything else?
No.
All right, thank you.
Do we have a date? Do we have to come back here?
Yes, July 17th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Carlos Terrazas. Are you all still conferring?
Yes,
Okay,
I think we're done.
all right. Yes, yes.
I think I hit something on my pocket. Sorry, Judge.
Okay. All right, so what's happening?
We conferred, Your Honor, and we're gonna have Mr. Jimenez. I'm gonna reach out to him and we're gonna be okay.
All right,
So we're
Miss.
gonna keep him on.
All right, Miss Ferguson, can you give me a month reset, please? And if your attorney wants to come back sooner than that, just let the court know. We'll put it on the docket sooner than that, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry about earlier.
Hmm?
Sorry about earlier.
Oh, no, there's no need to apologize.
Did fine.
Yes, Miss Ferguson? All right, we'll be back on July 31st.
No problem. I'll take this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Angela Gonzalez. Oh, it's Daniel.
I can tell the court where.
All right, you're on that side. And where are you?
So where we're at, Judge, is I was conferring with Daniel. We have a motion to revoke. We also have a new charge. We're trying to resolve both of them at the same time.
Mhm.
He wants to reach out and talk to the victim in the other case. So that we can try to wrap up both of these. So we're asking the court if we can reset the case to July 13th. And we believe that we'll have an answer by then, and then we can proceed. We should be able to proceed and wrap up both. We're trying to wrap up both now.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, are we able to put this on July 13th?
Yes,
All right, if you give them a reset form,
thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. On this case, July 13th. All right, has she finished with her UA or no? Okay. Pimentel.
Yes, Judge.
All right,
So
where,
all the state, Brittany just went outside, here she comes right here and. Hold on.
all right, so what is happening with Mr. Pimentel?
I think they're gonna agree to it now.
We're agreed, yeah.
All right, can you unmute yourself, Mr. Pimentel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and before we go on the record, is this for him to just have contact or move in?
Contact for now, yeah.
No harmful injuries.
Right.
Okay. All right, if you can have your witness come up. Court is calling 2023 CR 5075, State of Texas versus Parker Daniel Pimentel. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
Charles Gold for Mr. Pimentel.
And are you Mr. Pimentel?
Yes.
I'm sorry, are you Parker Pimentel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, any objections to the defendant appearing by video, state
No.
defense?
No, ma'am.
All right, the defense has filed a motion to ask that the defendant be allowed to have no harmful or injurious contact with the complainant in this case. Is there any objection from the state?
Your Honor, we're in agreement with that.
All right, and are you the complainant?
Yes.
The judge is asking you that question.
Yes.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me,
Sure.
please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Judge.
All right, you can lower your hand. Can you state your name for the record?
Daniel Lewis Pimentel.
All right, what's your relationship to Parker Pimentel?
He's my son, my only child.
Do you have any objections with him having contact with you?
None at all.
All right. Are you in fear of him?
No.
Now, you understand that I'm allowing him to have contact with you, but he's not allowed to live with you. Do you understand?
If that's what you decide.
Well, that's what we'll start with. We'll see how things go. If
Okay.
things go okay, there's a chance that that can change. But for now, he can have contact with you. Off the record, your defense counsel told me that you live alone, so you
Yes.
need help with certain things.
He's my caregiver.
All right. So he will be allowed to have contact with you, but he can't spend the night or anything of that nature. You understand?
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else?
If that's it, Judge. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you, ma'am. Judge, I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, Mr. Pimentel, you're excused.
Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, we have an interpreter on Luis Roberto Ramirez Rodriguez. Hi. Great. How are you doing? Huh?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Oh, you're on here,
this side.
Ms. Carrillo. Yes.
Okay.
Thanks. All right. So
Your Honor.
have you received all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to ask court, my client wants to ask the court to get another reset because he wishes to hire his own attorney.
Okay. All right. Before we get to that point, have you received all the discovery?
Yes.
Was an offer tendered?
No, not yet, Your Honor. We haven't gotten that.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson. Can I have a 30-day reset on Mr. Ramirez Rodriguez?
Okay.
All right, we're going to come back on August 7th. That will give you time to hire an attorney. You need to have them here by August 7th. State, on that day, you need to be prepared to tender an offer.
Yes, Judge.
All right, is there any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Carrillo, we'll see you then back on August 7th unless he has another attorney.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you. Hi, it's always great seeing you. That's a beautiful outfit. I'm loving the colors. Yes.
Like it kind of matches.
Thank you. Yes, have a great day.
You too.
Norma, were you able to get in touch with Arnulfo Ortiz? No, he's not back. His client is on page 8. State, have you had a chance to speak with Bob Behrens?
Judge, I haven't done that yet, but I will.
All right. And you all, if you want to call him, you can call him, or if you want to come into the Zoom link, we'll Zoom you in.
Okay. Oh.
Whichever is easiest. Yes. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good, that's so good. I'm with Mr. Ramon, who's there sitting down.
Okay.
It's a first setting. Get asked an offer from ADA Wilkins.
Okay.
Request a 30-day reset.
Okay, just one moment. All right, Eduardo Ramon. And Manny, do you have all of the discovery?
I think I do. We need to watch the Coban video where my client allegedly was talking to the officer. Those statements are incredibly important. He needs to see those.
Okay,
But I think I do at this point, Judge.
all right. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Eduardo Ramon? All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form, then you're excused.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Good seeing you.
I'll be here tomorrow.
Oh, hey. I don't see you. There's a Manny Rodriguez drought, then all of a sudden you're here.
For the moment, I think I'm the only Manny Rodriguez in Bear County.
Oh, hey. All right, and could you let your client was late today?
Yes, I'm talking about that.
Okay.
Sorry. Did you go downstairs first? You said you were just in the wrong place. We'll clear that up.
All right.
You can go ahead and wait. We're gonna fill out a form. So don't wait.
All right, is Hung Nguyen here?
Your Honor, Mr. Nguyen did not show up.
Okay,
I'll, would it be acceptable for the reset?
yes. And just let Ms. Ferguson know when you would like that recalled. And Mr. Porter, we're just waiting for your client. And who is the gentleman in the striped shirt with? Sir, who are you here for? Oh, your client, I mean, your attorney's by Zoom. All right, Bob Behrens. The state is going to call you now.
Okay.
Thanks. So I think we just have that one. And then it's Jeremiah Escoto, who never showed up. And Ruben Arreo. Yes. Oh, let me just tell you, you know who knows it's Jason's birthday today? Yes. She's like, tell Jason I said happy birthday. Oh,
I know she can hear right now. She's probably thinking, like, wow, I'm gonna call that on Zoom.
all right, Mom, Mom, the children are saying that you're showing your favoritism. I was just telling him, my mom said, like, my mom I don't know how she knows, but she knows when Jason's birthday is.
Oh, my God.
And my mom is not even tech savvy. So she's like, be sure to tell Jason I said happy birthday. I said, Mom, I think Jason's going to be out celebrating. Well, but let him know. So Daniel says he's been here for a year and he hasn't.
I know. What is it about Jason?
Well, I've told y'all my mom's favorite color is royal blue.
Right.
And when you've worn royal blue, my mom's like calling me and I'm thinking it's emergency. She's like, be sure to tell Brittany I love that royal blue. And, you know, I'm picking up because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's an emergency. What's going on? Because sometimes my brothers will call me and my mom will say, you all know she's at work. Why are you disturbing her? But she calls me for her. She considers everyone her child, all the attorneys too. Because during trial, when Robert Porter's in trial, she's saying, is it wrong of me to say hi to Robert? I know he's in trial in your court. I'm like, yeah, you can't say hi to him.
think we're done for the day. I'm just like in the zone on CPS records, so that's why.
Oh, hey, no. I think you all are done. We're just waiting for Ortiz. I think we're just going to recall Ortiz for tomorrow. Norma, if Mr. Ortiz is not here when we close today, we'll just recall that case for tomorrow because this client didn't show.
Can I just text that again? But I don't showed up today.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
I did. We had a nice conversation on Monday, June 26th. Okay. You want to, Judge,
Yes,
do you want to put that on the record with on that furniture review?
but no, Erin Trevino, we'd have to do that by Zoom with her client present by Zoom, either by phone, unless she's going to already have that done before that comes up.
Oh, okay.
So he'll need to be present to say he hasn't abandoned the appeal or anything.
Okay. How long did you say it would take to do that? No, I think they said it was like up by phone, it's gonna take 2 weeks. I thought Barbara said it only.
Oh, no, just call the warden and call the person in the library and tell them it's an emergency. It needs to be done ASAP. I've had them at the prison when I was a defense attorney, even when I was a prosecutor, they would do it the very next day. They're like, okay, we'll get it done. So we call, it wouldn't be 2 weeks for him to appear by phone. Are you going to have any objection if he's just by phone? Because I know the prison doesn't have Zoom.
No, and I was able to get it done in like 3 days.
Yes.
So they just needed like my bar card, my driver's
Mhm.
license, my DNA.
Yes. So we can get that done. Or if you want to set up another meeting with him.
And have it done. right?
Yes.
Yes, I can, well, I'll have my secretary do that because she did the first one. Okay.
Okay, yes.
What?
The phone number you would give them would be this number, and then they can transfer it to the court. Am I correct in that? Yes. Okay,
My
can you
phone?
able to do it to your phone and then on speaker?
Yes,
All right, let's do that.
brilliant minds.
Okay, all right, great.
I'll report back to you. Okay. Okay. I cannot, so this is was originally to the fourth and they reassigned it to the eighth. Right? But I go to the fourth. I go to the eighth, and which.
What was your Con Air moment?
Oh, so this, Robert Porter, have you ever seen Con Air?
Yes.
All right, so, yes, Brittany has probably never seen it. Manny, okay, Manny, have you seen Con Air?
Yes.
All right, so this is what happens. Yes. Oh, sure, just 1 second.
Yeah, I like that too. When that came out, I was like, oh. I was like one of the first, like Michael Bay. He's like, isn't that Michael Bay? But the.
Oh, they're-
Producer.
But no, here's my Con Air moment, because people are like, what's the Con Air moment? What happened? So I'm leaving for my flight to come back to San Antonio. And I'm standing in line with my bags, trying to do my check bags. And there is 3 guys in line in front of me. And so the first guy goes up to the counter and there are 2 people behind him. So then they call for the next person. And I'm like, they're skipping over these other 2 guys. And they didn't seem like they were together. So I said, excuse me, sir, are you next? Oh, no, we're fine. Then I take a look at the guy in the center. The guy in the center is wearing the equivalent of jailhouse flip-flops with socks, shorts that are below his knee, and a jacket, who looked as though he was hustled to be there. And in my mind, I'm like, this is Con Air, this is Con Air. So then I, am listening with my bad ear to see what's going on, because I need to be on high alert. And I hear the guy say, yeah, do you have any paperwork for your prisoner? And I was like,
announce it.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm about to have a Con Air moment. So I called my mom and I said, Mom, I'm texting my brother with my mom in it. And I said, we're about to do Con Air, right? And my mom doesn't know how to do text, so she doesn't read it. But my brother said, we won't tell Mom, but does anybody have a bunny rabbit?
Drop the bunnies.
So of course, they went with me to Houston, but then he got off. So there we go.
Nothing bad happened.
Nothing bad happened. Well, at least not on my flight.
Not on your flight, exactly.
All right. You're ready on Bob Barron's, and then I'm going to take up your matter. I understand what's going on.
I gotta get my wife to the airport. She gotta-
Yes. No, go get your wife to the airport and I'll give her a reset. But I'm before I let her go, I'm going to call felony drug courts. They'll probably be able to do an oral.
Okay,
All right.
just tell her to be back tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Oh, tell her to stay. Okay, I'll see you all. Thank you.
All right. So yes.
Yes, Judge, I conferred with Mr. Behrens and he should be back on the Zoom now.
Bob Barron's
Yes.
and Mr. Ramirez, come forward. All right. So where are we on this case? Mr. Barron's, did you receive all the discovery?
Judge, I'm not certain. This was a case that was filed at large. I think it comes from a misdemeanor case that I have with Mr. Ramirez. And neither Mr. Wilkins or I are actually familiar with the case itself yet. So we were hoping to get a reset so we could do the discovery.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, can you recall this in 45 days for discovery?
And can you tell us what date that would be?
I'm just waiting for the date.
Okay.
All right. It's
think
going
we're
to
gonna
come
be
back
out
on August 24th.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form, then you're excused.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's pretty handy.
I think that was our last case for today.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. We're done.
Thank you.
All right.
Judge.
Thank you.
I got the counts things by the third one. So
Okay.
progress.
No, you're doing great.
Sorry, Judge.
Oh, no, not a problem. Yeah. Oh, it happens. All right.